All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Zoning Out presented by the Comedy Zone. I am here with people. We have Mr. Williams Comedy to my right.
Yep, Jonathan Williams is also my name.
It is, but you never tell people that's your name. It's just Mr. Williams Comedy.
If you have to pick between the two, I want the one that gets me follows. That's fair.
That
Look at you.
Sounded very, there's a word I'm looking for. Right, it's not pretentious.
I don't know if it's pretentious.
It sounded very
shallow.
influencer-y.
Shallow, yeah,
shallow.
there it is.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, all right.
That's what do you think we're doing
What
here?
do you think we're doing? That's fair.
Jason Al King to my left, everybody. Jason, how are you?
I'm dynamite, guys.
You've been watching Good Times?
Nah, that's my standard response, actually.
Got it.
Tell
Okay.
people
I've
I'm
literally
dynamite.
never heard you say that.
Say it all the time. I say it at any interaction with someone. How you doing today? I'm dynamite. Everyone gets they get a kick out of it, or they're just patronizing me.
I think
Probably both.
It's probably 50-50 on that one.
You know what's great though? I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I don't know if that's
You
true
should.
either. I don't know if that's true either.
Yeah.
I think you might give a little bit of a shit.
Not really.
Yeah.
I'd stop doing it if it started to hurt.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I didn't expect you to say it that way. No
But
notes.
you know, there's good forms and there's good and bad forms of patronizing, right? Like kind of patronizing in the form of like talking down to somebody is bad.
Yeah, sure.
Right.
Patronizing a business is great.
Like the old school, like commissioning a painting or whatever, that kind of
Patronizing
thing.
them, sure.
Like you're their patron.
No, I mean patronizing the business as in buying tickets to our upcoming comedy tour, the Threes Comedy Tour. Everybody, we did it.
We're
did it.
doing
We did
it.
And by
It's
we,
happening.
mostly Jason.
Mostly
he
Jason
got
did it.
all of these venues.
Yeah.
I wasn't able to land.
But we're
anything.
gonna be there.
We will also be there.
Yes, we're all going to be there. They're going to be great shows.
And this is very exciting, man, because we alluded to this like near the end of the year last year, and so it's awesome to see this coming into fruition. We're going to be in the theater.
Where are we going to be? When are we going to be there?
We are going to be there May 29th at Stage Door Theater in Dunwoody, Georgia, basically Atlanta.
It's basically Atlanta.
You're dang right. We're going to basically be in Atlanta at the Stage Door Theater.
Yeah, I'm really excited
May
about
29th?
that. Yeah, so
And we don't have Eventbrites yet for any of these, right?
no, that's right.
Okay.
Not yet.
Maybe
Not
by
yet.
the time it's posted.
Maybe that is something that's on the list, is to get those up and running.
Things to do.
And we'll be promoting those Eventbrites, of course.
Of course, yeah. But we don't just stop there because, in July 18th and 19th, we'll be at the Copper Fox Distillery in Sperryville. Are you sure it's not Virginia?
It is Virginia. Did I write Georgia?
You
down?
wrote
You're right,
Georgia.
Georgia.
But hey,
You did.
Sperryville, Virginia.
Jason just wants to be. He wants to see that Ultra Bag of sign.
he
That's
loves-
what y'all.
Oh,
He
my
found out I was in Georgia. I was like, oh no, I gotta go sign that.
I want to be clear. I do not ever want to see an Ultra MAGA sign.
I'm joking. I'm joking, everybody.
Now that's going to be exciting too. So, and I'd like to give credit. I didn't obviously do it all myself. We all have been putting a lot of work into getting venues for this. Mark Brady actually
Shout out
put
to
me
Mark.
onto these folks, and with his support, they were very quick to say absolutely yes. When can you be here? So we worked out some dates, and we're actually going to be doing. They have two venues. They've got one in Sperryville, Georgia, which is
Virginia.
Yes, Jesus Christ. That's really good.
yeah.
And that's apparently it's a great
Georgia
show.
on his mind.
And then we're in Williamsburg at the Copper Fox Distillery, August 29th and 30th. So we got May,
That's
June,
multiple shows,
May, July,
baby.
and August dates.
Yeah, and hopefully more dates to be added because
Yeah.
we do want to find something
absolutely.
in June
Yes.
just to kind of round it out.
So the idea, right? So Threes Comedy. It's a Threes Comedy tour. It's the three of us.
Yes.
And I think we wanted some synergy. You know what I mean? We wanted, first of all, we like working together. It's a
Absolutely.
good show, right? And
Yeah.
also we do the podcast, so we can cross promote, the podcast while we're there. And who knows, maybe come back around to some of these places later and actually do a live.
Maybe do a live
there.
podcast. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, I agree. Come around, do a live podcast, or come back around, maybe headlining as, I don't know,
Yeah.
Threes Comedy presents Jonathan Williams. And
There
like
you go.
building up
Right.
that way. Really, I like to think of us as the comedy Wu-Tang Clan.
I've always thought of us that way.
I think people are saying that, actually.
Yeah.
I'm
Yes.
pretty sure that's out there.
Yeah. I agree, man. So just
Man, I'm trying to think of some kind of
Trying
pun
real
with
hard.
it, and it's not coming to me.
I was about to-
Probably for the best.
I was trying to figure out which one of y'all would be old dirty bastard.
I
And
mean-
it didn't feel nice to say it to either one of you, so I let it
As
go.
the oldest, I kind of feel like
I call Jizza.
Oh, that's a good choice.
All
All right.
That's great.
Jonathan, I have to run this by you.
Okay.
So I've been thinking about this. You know, there are 60 seconds in a minute.
Yeah.
All right. And there's
So far, I'm big time with you.
with me? All right. And then there's 60 minutes in an hour.
You're crushing it.
Okay. I think there's 60 hours in a day, like a true day.
Okay. I mean, go. Do you have follow up?
Well, I mean, because think about it. Why would it not be?
Because
If every 60 of one thing folds into the next up.
Because it's based on the Earth spinning.
Who said that, though?
Fucking, I don't know. It became agreed upon over time.
Yeah, but
Because the sun goes down, the sun comes up. Now, why the 60? My question is, I do agree with you that how it's divided up is a little confusing, but we can't just be doing 2.5 days as a day.
No, I think that was the original day. Because I think about it.
No.
Yes, because you lay down and get back up multiple times in a day. Think about it. If you go to bed at like 10 p.m. and you wake up at like 6 in the morning, that means you were asleep at 2 points of what the government has told us is a 24-hour
Jordan,
day.
this is ludicrous. What you're saying right
Well,
now.
yeah, why isn't it broken down into like 100? Why isn't there a metric, like a metric system for time?
Well,
right?
that's
Yeah.
fair. That's fair. But what I'm going to have a hard time signing off on is anything where the day isn't one spin. That just makes so much sense. Like what?
But why does that make sense though? Just because someone told you?
No, because
told us that?
it's easy to keep track of.
Pretty
It's
arbitrary,
easy-
right?
I don't think it's arbitrary because you go to you like everything. It makes sense. You do your fucking crops or whatever.
You are
based
the
on
logical
time of
one.
the
I
day.
figured you'd be on board with this.
No, this is logical. Basing a day on the spinning, yes, it makes all the sense because the sun, like it's built in. It's literally built into how the.
Your understanding of this is built in, man.
Yeah.
No, but no.
Well, also, I don't think you're thinking about this from like a global view because isn't there like parts of Alaska or wherever where it's only sunlight is out for
Yeah.
So
And vice versa. Then it's like the sun's always up, and then it's.
But
always
it's
dark.
still a spin. It's still one spin. That just makes sense. It's just there. Yes, of course, it's an artificial construct.
Not when you're up there. When you're up there, it spins
still
faster.
Still, though, you're still getting to like a starting point and an ending point, like one spin.
But
it makes sense.
That's what I'm saying. Who decided that was the start and end?
Whoever, I think every fucking culture everywhere independently came up with it because it makes sense. I'm not saying it is an artificial choice, true, but it's like so clearly the easiest way to measure that why the fuck would we do it any other way?
Okay.
And also if you define a day, like I think some people would argue that, all right, the concept of a day, I guess, is a construct. But all the things that like happen in a day are objective. Like in terms of like all the things of like where the sun goes, where the moon goes, when it does what.
Why can't it be compartmentalized to like, this is the first version of sun being out?
Because why? Because why complicate it like
Because
that?
the 60 seconds, 60
Well, then
Yeah.
let's change that then. That makes
So you want to
way
change
more
everything
sense.
else and instead of
Yes.
changing this one?
Other than changing the spinning of the Earth being a day, it's literally just built into the objective reality. So why the fuck wouldn't we use it? All the 60-second stuff, that's based on the movement of some fucking atom or something. Like or something like that. But that is all
Sounds conspiratorial.
That is
to me.
no. It's literally. And have you heard of an atomic watch? It's back before
Who made that?
Back before they. What the fuck does that mean? No, I'm saying the one objective thing that makes sense is the day based on turning. All the rest is random. Why is it 60? Like that's the thing that changes for me. If we were going to change something. Break it down into 24s. Or just divide up the spinning of the Earth into we could redefine what an hour is.
Okay.
And then we're talking. Then it could be 60 hours. But an hour would have
the
to be-
word hour, where did that even come from? Why is that 60 minutes?
Okay, that's literally what I'm saying. I'm saying the one thing that is there that why wouldn't we use it is the spinning of the earth, the sun going up, the sun going down. Sure, it's doesn't play quite the same at the poles and stuff like that, obviously.
Yeah.
But overall, it's still going around here.
Don't you feel like your point of view is like just a little too rigid?
I'm not saying that it's impossible to change it. I'm just saying why. Like, it works so well.
But for us, but clearly there are other examples of other areas of the world where maybe that's not necessarily the case.
No,
but they just had to get
okay,
used to
so
it.
is a day that they're just gonna but they're gonna be in 24-hour sunlight anyway. It doesn't matter how they measure
but
it.
it's not 24. It goes down for like an hour or two, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay, but like, so what?
That throws the whole thing into.
It's still the
Chaos.
closest thing to an objective like thing we have.
But that's
is
what
the spinning of the earth.
Okay, all right. This is what I'm.
Can you
kinda seeing
imagine that like every No, that's crazy. That wouldn't. It would be so like you would lose track of it. Like, it's just there. It's right there for you.
See, that's all right. I feel like your disdain for like Christianity and how you grew up.
What is happening right now?
No, listen. Okay. I think like it's kind of affected to where you swung so far in the other direction. Anything that doesn't have like concrete.
No, that's not true. No, I'm saying let's fuck with the 60s and all that. Yeah, fine. I don't have a problem with that because that's all made up anyway. The one thing that's not made up is the spinning of the earth. Us applying the word day to it is made up, sure, but that's not broken.
But
why would we
made
fix
up
it?
that equals a day?
I know, but why wouldn't we? It makes so much sense. Why? That's not broken.
All
Why
right.
do we have to fix it?
So
The 60 thing, yeah, that's weird.
It's not broken to you. Like, don't you feel like you're taking the perspective of
Who is it broken to other than for some reason you right now? And also, why is it broken to you?
I'm just saying, why haven't we thought about this a different way? Like the point of view
okay.
let's not change it because that's how we've always done things.
No. That's no. You are mischaracterizing what I'm saying.
Okay.
No, I'm saying because it is literally there. It is easy. It's like just the universe is like, hey, here's an easy way to do this. Now, do I like if we want to fucking change what a day is? Yeah, fine, whatever. I just don't see why we fucking would. Like, it's right there. Changing doing that metric thing you were talking about, that makes sense to me. Breaking things down into tens.
Time metrics.
But then still centering all of that around the rotation of the earth. Now, having said that, if there was this fucking movement to change what a day is, it's not a hill I would die on.
Here's how crazy it is.
I just think it doesn't make sense.
So in film, when you work in like hours, right?
Right.
So it's like if you work like an hour and 10 minutes, it's like 6.2. I can't remember exactly how it works.
What do you mean?
So like it's like an hour plus. It's actually 7. It's 7 minutes, right?
So it is broken down into decimals?
Yes, exactly. And it's the most. It's like I worked 4 hours. It's like get out of here. That's fake.
That's not that uncommon though. That's in a lot of stuff.
Doesn't make it's.
I'm not saying.
stupid.
I know. I'm just saying. It's not like it's not specific to film necessarily, but yeah, it is. It is like I agree.
Yeah, 6.2. Like, get out of here.
But
then now I got to do math. Like, it's 6 minutes and 14 seconds.
My loudness comes from the fact that I just don't get why I don't get the need to change. And what better system could there be than just like it's fucking right there?
Sure,
it's right there.
Sure, the leap year is perfect for everybody.
Yeah, that's a great example. Why do we have to like add in a leap day every 4 years? If the current system is working,
if it's
how
fine,
it's supposed to work.
I'm not talking about years.
All this
but
turns
the
into
days
that.
go into a year.
Okay, well that's okay. Is that perfect? No, but it's like a pretty easy fix. Every 4 years, we throw an extra day in there.
Talk to someone who was born on leap year.
Oh, I bet they're so sad all the time.
Yeah, I remember growing up, they were like 5 years old.
Come on, that's not real though.
Yeah. Yes, huh?
So, I mean, like, fine. What's your fucking alternative? Like, I just don't. What's your alternative? And go ahead.
I already gave you the alternative.
Not that I listened to.
The day, as we've been led to believe,
okay,
is actually just like what 0.4 of a day.
Dude, we would get so fucking confused, but not the measurement of it, but our bodies, the circadian rhythm, by the way, is based on the fucking spinning of the earth, like where the sun is, all that stuff.
Yeah, the sun's still going to go up and down.
Well, so
you'll still wake up and go to bed. It's just a full day contains like 2.5 of that.
Have you ever seen the people who are working on the Mars missions and stuff? They work on Mars time.
No,
no
that's
shit.
actually a real thing. They so all these
and
people
what do they base that on?
Mars
the fucking rotation of the planet.
Okay, yeah, they do on Mars though, but they do it on Mars. So their Mars day
that's what I'm saying.
is shorter than that's just because the current system is all I'm.
But
saying.
that's the point I'm making. Is like, yeah, it makes sense to do it there too. Is it different from our time? Absolutely. Is that a problem? No.
Was for them.
But was it?
Yeah.
What was the problem?
They hated it. They were it's because I think it was a shorter day. So like
okay.
So every time like they would be going to sleep when it was
gotcha.
So they would go to sleep when it was nighttime at where the rover is, and then they would like wake up when it would be the sun would come up in Mars.
It sounds like
they were living here on Mars time. So
living here on Mars.
Here and living on Mars. So all their clocks, watches, computers, everything was set to Mars.
That is
time.
exactly the problem that I'm talking about. Because they're doing days in a way that isn't based on the rotation of the planet that they are currently on.
Well, dude, yeah,
and it's fucking them up, and they hate it.
You have to like acclimate to it. Like if you go straight to it,
totally.
Yeah,
you can acclimate to it, but you think your circadian rhythm's going to acclimate to that? Like,
is that an REM song?
Circadian
rhythm.
Yeah, it's a Drake song too.
They talk about it in a song anyway. Michael Stipe.
I mean, like at the end of the day, it's just
at the end of whose day, Jonathan?
Yeah,
the end of
at the end of whatever the fuck. Like, fine. It just doesn't. He
folded.
Yeah.
No,
I can't believe
really.
you folded.
No,
that's crazy.
I fold like this all the time because it's just like my incredulity is from the fact of like why is this a problem? But like changing it, if everyone wanted to change it and it was like a thing, I'd be like, all right, I guess.
Okay, well, this was fun. I told Jason I was just going to bring this up and see how it went. So.
This doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, he defended himself quite strongly. He sure did.
I wanted more, but it's cool.
Can we shift to is it all right if I jump ahead?
Yeah, please do.
Because we're talking about space and everything.
Yes.
Okay.
And how JetBlue, I believe. It's not JetBlue. I'm saying it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff Bezos is.
Oh, you mixed up JetBlue
and Jeff. I don't think they're that different.
No. It's blue.
Yeah,
I don't remember either.
It's
Ocean Blue. Nope, that doesn't make sense.
Blue Orbit.
What is
I think
it
that's
called?
Gum.
What's the thing that we just?
I could look it up. But anyway, just
Blue Angel.
So Jeff Bezos, they chose 11 women to go into space for. For I think the whole trip was
Blue
11.
Origin.
Blue Origin. For 11 minutes,
which is very close to Blue Orgy. Which that would be a different trip.
Good.
How long were they up there?
11 minutes.
I think it was 11 minutes.
Yeah.
See, that makes okay.
So let's like tee it up, right? So this was. They tried to frame, they being Bezos and whoever the marketing team of Blue Orgy is, they tried to set this up as a feminist.
Right.
We're sending, women's brave storytelling women into space. We're giving them these opportunities. Katy Perry gave her tour list while she was up there in space. Katy Perry.
Okay. Now I see why they don't like her.
Yeah.
She released what her tour dates are gonna.
Yeah. Okay.
She picked a flower or something and brought the flower up, and it was like, oh, you're literally killing the earth while you're also killing.
Wow.
Yeah. So I mean,
plants
I'm kind of. I think on the side of people who are calling bullshit.
There was a big backlash.
I think this is bullshit because it is. It's just like. It's not. I think it's dishonoring the feminism to call this a feminist thing. I think this is because it's the same fucking thing that Jeff Bezos did.
Yeah.
Right. And everyone rightfully called him an asshole for doing it.
Yeah.
And now it's just because it's women, we should be happy about it.
Yeah, it felt like
It's
he was
still-
trying to soften the blow.
I think, yes, the whole thing was trying to take the heat off him and be like, isn't this exciting? And everyone's like, yay. And then he's like, remember when I did it? Now we don't think it's that bad.
Yeah,
I
right.
swear to God, that's what he was doing.
I can see
right?
it. Yeah. I can
So
totally see it.
I call absolute bullshit on this thing. And also the fact that it was 11 minutes when they came back down and Katy Perry kissed the earth. Like,
yeah, it was.
that's so icky. It's like, fine, do that, whatever, but it's just icky and like lame. It's cringe city. But also, yeah, no, just fuck that whole thing. I think that's so dumb.
Yeah, there was something to me about it. Like, I get the idea of, we take further and further steps into going into space and things like that. Because, we've talked about this before in the podcast where I'm excited about that. I think that's an amazing, beautiful thing to, that's where a lot of, growth and technology things come from, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But the tone deaf sort of ness of that, especially right now, of sending, I don't know how much it costs for each one of them to go up, but it was hundreds of thousands of dollars, if I'm not mistaken. And it just felt like we are watching sort of the government crumble. All these people are getting fired from jobs. Don't make any sense.
Let's go to space.
They're sending people to prison. They're literally taking
gulags,
away the First Amendment of the Constitution.
Camps.
Yeah, it just seems like now is really the time to celebrate this 11-minute journey into space, where it just felt so inappropriate. Like, kind of fuck off, right? Like,
big time fuck off, I think.
And I feel like some of these women, I don't want to put it. I don't want to put it just like on these women. For this.
Absolutely not.
Most of us would probably do that if we had the opportunity to do it. But when you put in like a bunch of very rich, famous people, it makes it a little hard to kind of take it seriously.
Yeah, I do think taking some of the heat off of the women themselves is probably good. It's I mean, I still am mad at them, but but the real
not all of them, because that's something I wanted to bring up, because I want to be really sensitive to. There's one person who
just let me finish the thought though, just so it's clear. Like, the real enemy is like the real asshole here is Jeff Bezos, and and I'm gonna guess probably. I don't think this is necessarily. I was going to say conspiracy theory. I don't think it is. Like, probably some people in the administration were probably involved in this conversation. Like, hey, distract them from the thing.
I don't think. Yeah, I think you're right.
That's probably true, and it's all. And I don't think that. I think that it. I think in that way they have failed to take the attention off of the nightmare around us.
I don't think they anticipated this.
Yeah,
the backlash, no.
Yeah, but I did want to bring up, and I'm sorry if I'm going to get your name wrong, but Amanda Nguyen.
Oh, is Win Nguyen?
Yeah,
that's Win.
Win. All right, forgive me for that. She is someone in particular where I kind of feel bad for her in this respect. She's a sexual assault survivor.
Yeah,
it's literally she was like going into like science and flight and space program, and she literally left it. She wanted to be an astronaut. She left that to go be an activist and to support and create space for survivors and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's
I back off of that one for sure.
Yeah. And I think it's important to note that's someone who probably didn't see this backlash coming either. So I hope people are sensitive to that. Learn her story. It's kind of heartbreaking, but also uplifting and kind of beautiful.
Yeah.
Because she was like, this is a full circle. Get to go back to actually do the thing that she wanted to do. But then this happened and it changed her life. So. Not to throw that at you.
No. I didn't take it that way at all.
But then I look at that, and then you look at Katy Perry, and it's just kind of like
it's good to look at the nuances.
Yeah, for sure.
Any the famous people who had nothing other than I'll go to space. I got no respect for that.
Yeah.
I
would love to
do space. Would you promote your comedy shows?
Of course.
Yeah,
of course I would. But I actually think I like to think that I would turn it down.
Why?
Because of
Jonathan. Okay.
No, honestly. Well, I did just say I like to think. I'm allowing for the fact that like maybe I wouldn't, but I like to think that I wouldn't because it's there's nothing. Like with how fucking terrible it is for the earth, I would also be a major hypocrite. Mm-hmm. And I would be contributing to something dumb and something that is terrible for the planet and something that is tone deaf and something that is, especially if I was like rich, famous, whatever, like I just don't, would it be beautiful? I'm sure. Is it worth it? No.
I still don't think anyone anticipated this. So knowing that now, for me, I don't think anyone anticipated the backlash.
I didn't know it was happening. If I knew it was happening, I think I would have anticipated the backlash. Yeah, because look what happened last time. Again, rightfully, when Jeff Bezos went, we were like, dude, fuck you, man. Why do you like? It's not different.
But so here's the thing. I would lean with what Jason was saying because a lot of people already didn't like Jeff Bezos.
Also, it's
but they're doing literally the exact same thing though, for the exact same reason, which is no reason.
No. I do think there's probably scientific reason for this. I don't think this
for what? What was it?
I think sending people into space successfully, getting them up there and back. I think actually there are probably tests and doing kinds of experiments and things like that for just getting people up there and back. I mean, the number of successful missions to this kind of thing. How do we then get to have a proper space station and all those things?
But there's different whether or not that's effective ways to do that, more like powerful ways to do that, ways that actually like send people to actually know what the fuck they're doing up there to actually be able to like.
We're on the same side.
Yeah,
of this,
I think.
But
you're right.
I do think because there was a couple scientists on it as well. It was all females, and there was like all women. I don't know why females felt weird there, but
it should.
It does.
Should it?
Is
that
weird.
Is that weird?
It makes me feel weird when people say females.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a real.
It feels very like alpha male like. Type.
Yeah, it's just probably.
I should just get rid of that.
It's probably just the type of people who tend to say that.
Yeah, I feel like unless you're speaking in like some type of like scientific kind of way.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, so there was a full woman crew. And I also think that may have been significant in some way. That's fair. We don't know. I don't think this was a joyride. I'll put it like that.
You don't think it was?
I don't think this was. Let me rephrase. I don't think the whole thing was a joyride. Trust me. I think it was complete bullshit as well. Yeah. Especially right now. Everything that's happening now. Yeah. But I don't think that this was super willy-nilly.
Well, do that whole thing and don't take fucking celebrities. And
I agree.
We're playing a different ball game.
Sure. They were. It was also probably a money grab.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not just, if it was truly just a scientific mission, they could have grabbed a lot of different people.
Right.
They wanted more eyes on it.
Who were those celebrities? Gayle King
and Katy Perry.
Were there other celebrities?
Yeah.
If Oprah's on that list, I wouldn't be surprised.
I think she would be all over the news. She would be the main person people are talking about if she was on there. For better, for worse.
But we kind of talked earlier about how like Katy Perry's already given so many people the ick.
Yeah, but Oprah is Oprah though.
She is.
I mean, Oprah is like.
Does Oprah have that
kind of
relevance today though?
Okay.
I'm not trying to be.
She at least has enough residual relevance that like yes, she's. You know what I mean? Like maybe Gen Z and Gen Alpha are not out there talking about Oprah, but us and up age-wise, like she's an institution. You know what I mean?
So here are the people. So
officials like Oprah, Michelle Obama, Barack Obama,
Barack.
And I guess not Barack.
But. Gayle King, Katy Perry, journalist and philanthropist Lauren Sanchez, film producer Carrie-Anne Flynn, former NASA rocket scientist Aisha Bowie, and civil rights activist Amanda Gwynn.
Okay,
that's what it was on.
So yeah, you take Gayle King and Katy Perry out of there, I definitely have less of a problem with it.
Yeah, sure. Well, film producers, who gives a shit?
Or yes, okay, yeah. Agreed. Yeah. But mainly the fact that it's celebrities. Why? I wonder, was there a reason to take a not famous film producer? I mean, maybe famous among.
I also think it was who could afford it.
Well, see that. Okay, this I wasn't really. We weren't really talking about yet. It was like you buy a ticket.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, that makes it even grosser.
Oh.
That makes it even more gross.
Yeah.
Me.
Okay, that changes things.
I'm gonna double check that I'm not making this.
It seems likely because that's a random smattering of why Gayle King, Katy Perry. Like that's just neither of them are front and center culturally, and and they don't really like. I don't know. Do they work together? You know, like,
So this was just a Google search, and it said some of the passengers on the Blue Origin flight on April 14th, 2025 paid for their seats, while others flew for free. Blue Origin declined to specify who paid for their tickets.
Oh, okay.
But the company indicated that some passengers were guests and others were paying customers.
What if it's the reverse? What if the celebrities went for free?
Oh, that would be disgusting, dude.
Yeah, like William Shatner did it the last time he flew for free.
Yeah. See, I don't remember William Shatner getting any.
He didn't get as much hate because he's not Jeff Bezos,
and also he's Captain
Kirk.
But
also still fuck him for that. Like
there was an auction seat for $28 million on that one.
If we get to a point where like space travel doesn't fuck up the environment, have fun, do your thing. I don't care. Right. But this is like, even flying is really bad. We do it all the time. I'm as guilty as anyone.
Well, honestly, isn't it?
But this is pointless.
Isn't cows producing methane like the biggest problem? Because
it's definitely one of the biggest, if not the biggest. But yes, that is one of, if not the, for sure.
Which I still find very fascinating.
That is wild.
It's pretty wild.
But at least with flights, you're going somewhere for some reason. With cows, you're eating.
Yeah.
That doesn't excuse it, but it at least like there's something being accomplished. Going to space on a joyride, you're like, fuck you. No.
Well, wait a minute, because what if you're taking a flight for a vacation?
It's still, you're going on a vacation. Like, this is just 11 minutes of some assholes in space.
And again, I got to push back, man.
Yeah, exactly. Look, I get 11 minutes, especially over the course of 60 hours, is a very short amount of time. Like, I get it. But it's still for fun. It's for...
Yeah, but look at I don't have this stat on me, but let's look at the amount of CO2 produced from that versus a Delta flight to fucking Cancun or whatever.
When they shot Apollo 13, they called it the Vomit Comet, right? So it was Spielberg and Kevin Bacon, Tom Hanks, and I'm forgetting the Twister guy. Anyway, Bill Paxton. So they would go up, and what they would do is basically they would fly
the airplane,
super high,
and then
and they would kind of dive down. They had to get super high,
And you have to if you're an astronaut, like you have to do that to practice,
correct.
Right?
So
I don't know if
zero
these
gravity.
people have to do it.
I'm sure they got tests. I don't really know. Which, by the way, we should also acknowledge we don't really know all the ins and outs of this.
Of course we don't. Yeah.
So I don't want to. I don't want to.
I say this all the time. You should not come to us.
I don't want.
I have strong opinions, but it doesn't mean I know what I'm talking about.
I know, but I don't want to presume that they did a bunch of tests, like I said a moment ago. But right. I don't know if they did or if they were just like, fuck it, we got the money, the full tank of gas, let's go. I don't know, but it seems like it would be crazy for them to fucking do it randomly. But I mean, again, I look at that movie Apollo 13 and it's like, they spent a lot of fuel up there dicking around trying to make it look like they're in space. So I don't know. There's something to that. But I don't love the timing of it. There's just too much shit going on. We're literally throwing people in prisons and stuff. Like someone, I did a post about it. Someone was like, yeah, this is a they can eat cake moment. It's just another, people are struggling. We're going to go on a joyride.
Well, okay. So I hear you. I guess my retort to that would be, I don't know if there's ever going to be a good time.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, certainly I don't see the light at the end of the tunnel anyway.
But an open descent into outright fascism is a little different from a little bit rough time. This is watching democracy crumble before our very eyes. Objectively speaking, anyone who's actually watching, there's
so
what's
many
happening.
people who don't agree with you, and it's like, and I get it,
and they're just wrong. Like that, it's so wild, man. Like it's just like, okay, but you're just deeply incorrect.
Yeah.
But so that to me, that's different from just. I agree. I don't think there's ever a good time for random celebrities to go up to space. Unless there is some kind of electric rocket at some point.
I still stand by. I'm not saying if I was, a gazillionaire or whatever, I'm not saying I wouldn't do it. I would like to. I'm with you. I like to think that I would make the right call, but also I'd be doing millionaire shit.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
would.
Like, we don't know what we would do till we're there, ever.
Yeah.
With anything. But I
wouldn't hunt people. I don't think.
If I were to find out right now that I was gonna do, if I were to know right now that I was gonna do that, and the situation wouldn't be different, the rockets would still be creating the same CO2, whatever, I would be disappointed in future me. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
What if it was an actual blue orgy? Then would you do it?
I mean,
are they conventionally attractive?
It's Gayle King, Katy Perry. That's
I may need to look at a picture of
That's
this crew.
terrible. That's horrible. Jonathan,
I
why
mean,
would you
then it's
say
a
that?
conversation, at least. But
Blue orgy.
Gross.
Is just we should.
gross. We just undid all the like high horsing we did is just gone.
Yeah, well, but I mean, here's the thing. It's not like you even have to go to space.
Oh, if it's just yeah.
No, I mean, you could just
What?
no, you could just go to Coachella, which is actually
yeah.
for weekend 1 that just
That is a good idea.
Weekend 2 is coming up, and there's been a lot of things happening at Coachella. Now, this is like the biggest.
Also, Coachella is not that different from this flight. Can we just say that?
Okay, tell me more.
I mean,
I have no idea. I don't know shit about Coachella. I can say
insofar as it is a place that a bunch of privileged people go to pretend that they're not privileged and they're having fun.
I call it Coachella. I don't know what you guys call it, but
Coachella.
Why?
Because I just said it like that a moment ago, and I'm calling
gotcha.
myself out.
I didn't notice.
Coachella. It's Coachella, right?
Coachella.
Oh, yes,
It's
Coachella.
from. Is that like the main sponsor? Is it like Coach bags?
I honestly don't.
It's not?
know.
I mean, I guess that's sort of a reasonable question.
Yeah, don't fucking laugh if you don't know, dickhead.
Well, it's just like I feel like we would. I don't know. I feel like that would be known. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why is it called that though? I don't know.
So
but I
can't
do
laugh,
know
then.
that no, I can laugh. But because that feels, I feel fairly confident.
Probably
that it's
not right.
named after
Yeah, that's
Coach
fair.
Bags.
Okay.
All right. Well, so I know the actual festival takes place in Indio, California, but I also want to say it's like maybe right beside a town called Coachella. Like I
Well,
think
that would
it's
explain it.
actually-
you go.
Woodstock, like Woodstock was in Woodstock, New York.
Bonnaroo.
Yeah, Coachella, California. Yeah, that's a.
Is
it's a beautiful
Bonnaroo a
place.
thing, or are you doing a bit?
I have no idea. I'm doing a bit. Bonnaroo,
Tennessee?
Yeah, I'm sure that's right.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So there was a lot of things happening. A lot of things that made Coachella news that I don't really understand why it made Coachella news. The funniest thing for me is starting with David's backflip fail, and I know his name is spelled D4VD, but apparently it's pronounced David.
I don't know who that is.
Now I don't either. I've never heard a single song from this person, or at least not that I realized. The link above it actually.
Oh.
That's well. We can start here too, because this is famous R&B actor Genuine. Now,
Say R&B actor.
he's acted before too.
Did you mean to say that though?
I didn't.
Oh,
but
okay.
why would you call? I asked smoothly.
No, because I was acting. Jesus,
Get
it together, guys.
I was
Fucking lock it up, guys.
It was a genuine genuine question.
You're good. You're good.
My God, that is horrific.
Now,
I didn't mean to. It
bring
presented itself to me.
I bring up Genuine because I want to compare him to David's backflip fail.
Okay.
All right. So we look at David's backflip fail.
All right, let's see
I gotta
this.
tell you, he took a hell of a spill right here.
All right.
So
He's
you
jumping
can run,
around.
All right, D4VD.
and
Oh
bam.
no!
You can see him trying to fight gravity for a minute.
Oh, no.
Because they put the slow man. Look, you can see he realized he's going down, but he's still
he
trying.
just slipped.
Oh man, head
Oh.
first.
Oh,
Well, so if you
gosh.
look close, I think he actually got his shoulder
Yeah,
to break the fall.
I think he broke the fall.
because
But,
that would have been
Oh.
way worse. But yeah, if
and
you
he's
look at
He is smiling.
He is
He's
smiling.
laughing.
He's like everyone.
Oh,
he's
that's
like,
cool. Like-
he's like it's gonna be on every podcast
Yeah,
around.
Yeah.
people are gonna give him shit. I just think that's fine.
But here's the thing: he was smiling
as long as he's okay.
after he hit the ground and he realized he was
man,
okay.
that is
Yeah,
rough.
yeah, yeah,
Right?
yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
now
yeah.
can we switch over to the Genuine?
All right, hang on, hang on.
Okay.
Because one thing I appreciate about Genuine is like he jumps off the stage.
He's pulling that guy down with him.
Yeah, he tried to pull
didn't
somebody
mean-
down with
He
him.
was just trying to grab onto
That's
him to
the
pull himself
interpreter,
up.
by
I
the
get
way.
that, but the
Oh, really?
ASL?
Yes.
ASL guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See? So
What he's just saying that guy's a dumbass.
Yeah, he's okay. He's fine.
He tried to pull me down with him.
Yeah, Genuine's okay. And Genuine actually keeps singing as he's down there in that pit.
Oh, really?
So, yeah. So 2 things about that. One, you gotta give it to Genuine. This is a consummate professional.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The show must go on. But also, you could realize he realized almost immediately his 50-year-old knees
Yeah.
were not built
Right.
for that jump.
No, dude, I'm
He
impressed.
starts smiling and laughing as pretty much as soon as he realizes he's going down. And that just shows the difference between young dudes and older vet wisdom right there.
I want to be honest. I would never do that jump. I would never even do that jump.
You know, it doesn't look like that serious of a jump from
Fucking
our
does
point
to
of
me.
view.
I'm older than you, man.
I guess that's.
It don't look that bad.
Yeah, I might not do it either. Actually,
Well, look at how tall is he?
That's like 4 feet, probably.
That's 4 feet plus how tall is Genuine. He
4 feet
disappears.
and that's 4 feet, and I have bad knees.
If he's standing up,
You do have bad
that's
knees.
6
yeah.
feet. Like, right? Look at that.
Nah, because
that's
the guy
not-
right there,
that's
in
not
the,
6
the
feet.
interpreter
Look at it.
standing,
Yeah, it's at his waist.
It's only comes out like a little above his waist. That's like maybe 4.
I think I would. I think
Maybe
there's
4.
a chance I would do that jump, but I'd need to see it.
He's jumping like right behind this interpreter too, by the way.
Maybe it was also maybe not planned.
Was it a mistake?
You know?
No, I'm sure he didn't plan the fall.
Well, no, obviously. But I'm saying maybe he was not actually playing. He was like, "Cool, I'm gonna jump down there with this guy. I'm feeling it. I'm having fun."
He just improvised.
you know, people do shit.
Did you ever see that clip of Gayle, the R&B singer, jumping from one stage to another?
Oh God.
I think maybe.
Jason, if you have time to pull this up on YouTube, that would be the funniest thing in the world. Yeah, just type him.
Look at that. The ASL. Someone commented the ASL interpreter signing shit.
That is funny if that's the case.
That's what it said in the comment. It said it's the ASL interpreter signing shit for me.
Yeah.
I would. I mean,
Well, we
that
can't
would be
read ASL. So
well,
we
that
don't
would
know
be a
for sure
lame
that would-
thing to make up. You know, what I
just
mean?
type in Miguel,
Hopefully it was
Miguel.
Bill Burr and
Jump.
Bill Burr credits mushrooms for improving his
there we
personality.
go.
See,
Now
me,
look,
me and Bill.
Miguel. Yeah, that's it. Miguel basically does like a WWE move right there. That's fine. Yeah.
I'm trying to think if I've ever seen this.
So Miguel, but you got the ads, Jason. You got regular YouTube.
I have
right I
regular
do.
YouTube too.
That shit costs money.
Nah, I'm joking. He doesn't even know how to mute it. You see it?
Why didn't it mute?
It's fine. We'll just let
It's
it.
all right. It's all right.
All right. This is one of my favorite
to
moments.
Miguel.
I think his career pretty much ended after this.
Oh, really?
You heard a lot less from him after this. I think she sued actually after this happened.
2013.
But
Okay.
I think this is one of those things that he couldn't have planned it because this ended drastically wrong. And this is a long
I'm
minute.
already Is this a long video?
What the hell is happening with this video?
All right, it's coming up.
I just mean that
All
it's
right,
like.
and here we go.
Oh my God. Oh my
You can see her
God.
holding her head.
And she's down.
Yeah, he like
he
crushes
keeps
her.
That's the wrong woman. That's not the
And
one
he keeps
you
going.
He like crushes her. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
I mean, I
Real.
believe that he doesn't realize that he did that, but it still is.
He had
optics.
to feel that.
Oh,
Well, I mean,
that was a lot.
I think he probably felt himself hitting something, and then he saw that.
You
And then,
didn't think he saw that woman's head sitting under his kneecap?
I do actually think that he didn't, because he's like in the moment performing. There's lights everywhere. He's like focused on getting back up and continuing the show. I think it's very possible.
That was really bad.
Because I don't think he landed like her head is here on the stage, and he like landed right on top
No,
of
he
her
like
to where
bent
she,
her
like,
backwards.
Yeah,
Like, he
yeah,
could've,
no,
like,
that's what I'm saying. No, it clearly was bad, but I do think it's plausible that he didn't quite, like, he may have registered it in the back of his head. You know what I mean? Like, I think the adrenaline of performing may have like, and then he sees his woman standing beside him smiling, and he probably thinks like, oh, she's fine because that's her. He thinks that's her.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like the show must go on kind of thing. Like no. I'm just saying you don't always feel, even if it's something like.
When's the last time you leg dropped somebody?
When you're standing on someone's neck, do you just not
I'm
think
saying
of it?
it's plausible, and I'm saying I don't know if he slammed her head she's hurt. I'm not saying she's pretending that she's hurt or anything like that. But I don't know.
Kind of sounds like it.
But I don't know. That's not what I'm saying. But it's not. I don't necessarily know if he landed like all like, just like direct hit. Mm-hmm. And that's plausible to be like, okay, something bad happened. I'll deal with it in a minute.
Well, she sued him, so
yeah, I believe she
from
did.
what you said.
Yeah, cool. I'm just saying. You asked a question and I answered it.
All right, well, we can get back to Coachella. So another thing that popped up that I thought was interesting: Bernie Sanders made apparently a surprise appearance.
I like this.
You do like this?
I like it a lot.
Okay, tell me more.
I like it because I think that right now we're in such a terrifying moment that somebody like Bernie Sanders get as many fucking people in front of this guy as possible. Him, AOC, the people who are actually trying to do shit, who are actually being loud and aren't just being like Chuck Schumer going in there to fucking let's work with them. Like the people who are actually doing something.
Chuck Schumer can fucking drop off the face of the earth.
Fuck
as far
that
as
guy.
I'm concerned. Yeah.
But I think going where people are and getting your ass in front of them to deliver a crucial message that people who are at Coachella, a lot of them, we were talking to, we mentioned a lot of them are maybe like privileged people who don't necessarily have to pay attention to what's going on, or at least yet.
Yeah.
And like getting that message out to as many people as possible.
A lot of Bernie bros at Coachella, do we think? We got Bernie bros.
I think I'm done with the whole idea of Bernie bros. I don't give a fuck about that anymore. Like that as a criticism, because
I don't even know if I was criticizing.
Yeah, fair enough. In fact, I think all of that section of his old base have gone right. Like that.
You think so?
That
feels like you're shooting from the hip a little bit, man.
I mean, I kind of am, but what I mean,
you go from Bernie to Trump. That sounds
a fuck ton
fucking
of
crazy.
Dude, that was a huge thing in 2016. This is a fact. There were interviews with union bosses in 2016 saying that all of their guys. I'm over making this point. I could be totally wrong, and I was a little bit shooting from the hip, but this is true. There were interviews with union bosses in 2016 saying that their guys were saying they wanted Bernie, and if Bernie doesn't get the nomination, they're voting for Trump.
About this, yeah. Which is crazy because they just don't want a woman in the White House.
Exactly.
Which, let's be honest, we're in this position because of women. Can we say that?
God. Jesus Christ.
Obviously, I'm kidding.
You stated that so straight.
You know what?
Comedy, guys. Comedy.
But you know what being on this podcast has taught me? It is hard to tell the truth without sounding misogynist.
Don't say that.
Wait a minute.
After he said that? No.
Hang on.
What you said off air.
I'm done. No, I didn't. I'm out. I'm done. I'm done with this podcast. No, but
Can I finish my point though? It is not because of women. It's because of people in this fucking country refuse to vote for a woman.
Yes,
that's why we're in the position.
That
we're
is
in.
one major
just
part
in case
of it. Yep.
The ridiculousness of my statement wasn't fully registered, because people in this country are fucking dipshits and don't realize.
I got off on a tangent. You're right. I probably am wrong about that Bernie Sanders moving right. But I'm just saying I think I want more of this.
I wasn't sure Bernie Bros was actually a bad term. Am I mistaken?
I didn't really.
We can get into that if you want. It's like
I don't want
it's like
to,
a sort of they were like considered like problematic or whatever. Like they had the right, if you are of a more progressive ilk, they had the right ideals, but they were still like that sort of. There was like toxic masculinity associated with them in addition to that. Does that make sense? Right. So I don't know, but that kind of is beside the point. My main point is I like this. I'm glad he did that. I think we need more shit like that. Get in front of people. Get as many fucking people to hear this shit and how serious it is as possible.
Okay.
Can you hear him right now?
I don't care what the venue is.
I know you. Everyone here is on drugs.
Oh yeah, you can hear
I know you're on drugs.
I took some Molly.
I wanted to fit in and reach my base.
I was part of a cuddle puddle.
A cuddle puddle?
Yeah, have you heard of that?
Right.
I finally got my pants back on. I'm on stage.
Okay, now, all right. I like Bernie.
Stand up. Oh, yeah, I like Bernie.
I'll say this. I do agree with this comment. I did not come to Coachella to see Bernie
Tough shit.
Sanders.
No. Okay, that's fair. But
There we
fuck
go.
you if that's
you just lit the fire in
But
Jonathan.
fuck you if that's your point of view, because you're at Coachella while all
Yes,
this.
I'm at Coachella.
Yeah,
dude.
while the fucking country's burning down, and I'm not blaming you for being there, but I am blaming you for being mad about 10 seconds of having to hear something
I
important.
can guarantee that was
about,
more than 10 seconds.
Okay, fucking whatever. That's not the point. The point is, I'm saying I don't give a shit that he ruined your trip to Coachella when we have literal Hitler in the fucking White
Dude,
House.
Bernie Sanders got bars though, man.
He does. He does.
Yeah.
Bernie Sanders can
He
spit,
does.
man.
No, I do like Bernie.
and also like tough shit if you didn't like it. Tough shit. That's my stance. Big time is fucking get over it.
I think it's
you're
funny.
at Coachella.
Go
You're
ahead.
having
Go
fun
ahead, Jordan.
anyway.
Give Jordan-
You can handle
But
it.
okay, but what if the reverse were to happen? If I'm at Coachella, if you're at Coachella and Trump just pops up.
Yeah, because he's a terrible nightmare
Okay, fine.
person.
All right, you know what? All right, he's too
It
far.
does
he's
matter
too
which
far-
side it's on.
He's too far on the other end of the spectrum. Let's back it up a little bit. Candace Owens just pops up.
Yeah, because she's giving a bad message. I don't play the both sidesism anymore. Both sidesism doesn't apply anymore because right now there is a bad team.
Listen,
I'm not
okay.
saying the good team is good all the time, but there is a bad
There's
team.
something
There
funny,
is
though,
an evil
about,
team.
There's something funny about, yeah, we're having a good time. Who's the fucking old
Oh,
guy?
it's hilarious.
Yeah,
No, don't get me wrong. It's also very funny.
Yeah,
like I'm not
this is a comedy podcast.
I'm not here saying like
It's a comedy podcast, Jonathan.
fuck you. I don't
we're
care if
trying
it's a
to-
comedy
we're trying
podcast.
to
When they're
have fun, you know what I
No,
mean?
when we're descending into fascism, I'm going to talk about it if
Oh,
it comes
God.
up.
Okay, Jonathan. All right, look.
Fucking
I'm sorry.
Yes,
I'm
a
sorry.
lot.
Okay, you're snoring, but that
a
history is going to
lot-
smile kindly on you snoring into the mic
We're going
right
to be
there.
in the same place at the
Okay,
same time.
so fair point. Like a lot of privileged people go to Coachella, especially during weekend one.
Yeah.
That's known as the weekend for like the influencers and everybody being there. Fine. There are still people that go to Coachella. Maybe they saved up for this trip, right? Maybe, and even they are more privileged than a lot of people in the country. Fine, but still, they spent a lot of time, had to work so many hours to save up money for this trip. They just wanted a weekend to get away from
This
everything.
is
Escapism.
more important than that.
I will hear.
This
all right.
is
Let
more-
me
yes.
push back. You know
Yes.
what? Because you're hot right now. Let me push back. Right. So
Fine.
all those times during the world wars and shit, you know, they call them the golden age of fucking cinema, man. Because everyone was so goddamn sick of seeing American kids getting killed all over the place. They wanted to escape shit.
There were World War II movies during World War II.
But the idea of it being escapism so they could get away from their problems or go to a comedy club, that's fucking real. I kind of understand your point of
Okay,
being like,
no,
maybe
fine,
we just don't
fine,
fucking want that.
But if you get how many people are there? 30,000 people, or I'm just whatever. If you get 500 people in that crowd to get a fire under their ass,
Sure. And there was propaganda before those movies. I'm aware of
like-
it. But
like,
escapism is
I just-
okay for some people going, God damn
and
it.
I also
didn't
just
wanna hear
think
Bernie."
there are layers to, or there are levels too. It's not doesn't exist. It's not like if this was fucking 2009 and I don't know, and Bernie Sanders then showed up, it'd be like fucking all right, whatever. But this is literally like existential threat. That dude should get
What?
in front of as many people as he can, as often as he can, whether they fucking like it or not.
Jonathan,
Period.
What are you going to do if the tariffs work?
I'm gonna be wrong. Well, actually, no, because that's one thing out of
It's just-
out of 900
Yeah.
pure evil fucking things.
I get it,
I'm
dude.
not, like, I know that I'm being loud and annoying right now, but I really don't give a fuck.
Okay.
I don't.
Oh,
Okay.
I know. It's entertaining, kind of.
That's fine too. Good. I hope it's entertaining.
Let's
No,
take a
I said
different
kinda.
angle. Let's take a
Kinda is
different
fine
angle.
too. No, I'm not apologizing for this shit. Fuck no.
Okay, let me come at you from this perspective now. All right. I don't know who was supposed to be headlining right there, because Bernie was obviously a
Claro.
surprise, right? I don't know who
Claro.
was supposed to be performing. Claro? Okay, you're right. Yeah, that was on the notes.
And she's great. I love Clara.
What if Claro didn't know that Bernie Sanders was coming out before her set?
That would kind of suck, but like that for sure. I also, my guess is she wouldn't be mad about it. That'd be my guess.
Okay.
But
Well,
also,
I mean, maybe not.
She wouldn't tell people she was mad.
No, that's true. Exactly. She never would
I
say
also
it.
find it highly unlikely that she didn't sign on to this. Highly unlikely.
I think this shit happens
Yeah.
all the time. I think that happens.
Well, I mean, again, like,
Yeah, because certain people have enough pull. They don't need permission.
That's right.
but like,
exactly it.
it just
Somebody
seems
will
like
give them a mic.
why wouldn't you
Matter
talk
of fact,
to her?
even if you don't have a lot of pull, I still remember
But
that
also,
one VMA Awards.
I think these are nitpicky issues. Like,
What do you mean?
tough shit. Okay, Claro's upset. Fine, we'll live. The world will continue spinning 60 hours a day.
Yes. Yes. But no,
Nicely done.
See, here's
Nicely
the thing.
done.
I can't. All the little. I'm not saying these things aren't problem. I'm not saying that. Hey, someone had a rough day and they wanted to. I don't have a problem with escapism. I don't have a problem with Claro having bad feelings about something unexpected happening to her show. I'm not saying these aren't real things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying this one big thing is so much more important than all this shit. It's not even fucking close. Those are such minor problems compared to what we're dealing with. To ruin someone's vacation because they had to watch someone talk for 15 minutes. Like, I don't fucking care.
All right, Jonathan. If you're headlining Good Nights, what June? What state?
Yeah, you can hear this guy. When are you at Good Nights?
Yeah.
No promises. Maybe. This might happen. It won't.
No, I'm just saying. Before you get on stage, let's say, what's the guys? Tillis. Tom Tillis.
Tom Tillis is like, I got time.
Okay, here's two points. One, yeah, because he's the bad guy. Like, he's
is there
wrong.
like a middle
He's
person?
on.
Who's in the Green Party?
If fucking. Okay,
By the way, do you know if it was either person, you don't get to fucking choose whether or not they go on in front of you. You just got to deal with it.
No, what I'm saying is, yeah, I'd be pissed, but if it was like, but I don't fucking care. Like, in theory, I don't care if the me is pissed. You know what? I would be in that situation pissed. But it's not about what I fucking want if it's that big.
No, but it is.
Not when we're fucking descending into actual Hitler fascism.
I've scaled it down to levels we could relate
Okay,
to.
then that's different.
Okay.
That's totally different. If we're in a less severe situation, and it's some asshole, and nobody asked me, and I don't like them, and we're not living in a literal 24/7, 60 to 60 emergency. If we're not in actual crisis meltdown of our nation, it's a different ball game, man. Like, yeah, then I think there's more of a conversation. But in this context, get Bernie Sanders anywhere. Like, fuck up someone's vacation. Like, tough shit. Fuck up someone's show.
I know you weren't expecting me.
Yeah, right.
I've got a message.
I'm not saying I wouldn't be mad if it was me. I probably would be, but it doesn't matter.
That's not a bad
If
Bernie,
I-
by the way.
It does-
I do it all right, Bernie. I think.
It doesn't matter if I would be mad.
Where's
That's what
all
I'm
my-
saying. It's bigger than me.
Where's all
It's
my
bigger than
bros?
you. It's bigger than Claro. It's bigger than people at Coachella. It's bigger than Bernie. It's bigger than everybody. Like, that's where I'm at.
Okay. Well, it is not bigger than us taking a break.
That's right.
You
I think it's like
you wanna take a break,
It
right?
is bigger than
Colt,
us
we
taking a
need
break,
to
but let's do it.
throw some cold water on this.
Let's have a few minutes.
Guys,
We're going to have
I'm
a
not
few minutes
upset.
of escapism from this conversation.
Guys, here's the thing.
Quit bombarding
We don't
me.
care
We
if
want
you're
to take
upset.
a break.
There are-
We don't want to hear this.
We don't
right
care
now.
if you're upset. That's not the
I
point.
just came here to have a fun podcast.
Well, tough shit. This is
There it
bigger
is.
than you.
Oh God.
We'll be right back with Zoning Out. Welcome back to Zoning Out, presented by the Comedy Zone. We are back. We are calm.
I want to offer an olive branch.
Do you?
Yeah.
Why?
Okay.
No, just an interesting nuance to that. Genuinely, like a nuance. I'm not yelling.
Okay. All right.
Yet. So I think the reason that I am totally fine with the Bernie thing is the same reason that I'm not fine with Disney Plus. Hear me out. So
That's a
do y'all
long
have,
branch.
Do y'all have Disney?
That's a long olive
Y'all have
branch.
Disney Plus?
No.
Okay. Do you watch it? Do you use it?
Sometimes.
I stopped using it because
You're
they
better than
started.
me?
Yeah. No, because they started putting commercials in
Oh.
They started putting commercials in, like even like I was watching fucking Infinity War, and there's commercials in it, like
Wow.
throughout.
I heard about that. Yes.
So I literally stopped using Disney Plus. You know what I would not have stopped using Disney Plus for? If they put one commercial on the front end of the movie, I'm okay with that. So I would say that if Bernie Sanders and AOC and whoever came out between like every 3 songs and they were like coming out and
You've
doing,
been like,
I'd be
what
like,
the fuck
fucking
is
come
this?
on.
Okay, all right,
Bullshit.
all right.
You see what I'm
I like
saying?
this
Like
take.
he
All right.
he
Not
did
bad.
a thing and then the concert happened.
You know
You see
what?
what I'm
Not
saying?
bad.
I think I'm with you.
All right.
All right, fine. I
Yeah.
can go with that.
Fair enough.
I can go with that.
Olives eaten, my friend. Olives eaten.
All right, that's all.
But you know, we're obviously talking about the arguably, if not the biggest music festival.
Probably, I think yeah.
ever,
Is it?
right?
I don't know any of the numbers,
At least
but I'll
currently.
believe you. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like Bonnaroo, there.
It's certainly the most like culturally like the cultural
least-
touchstone.
At least in the States. I
Yeah.
don't know
Yeah.
worldwide
True.
like how it might compare, but at least in the States, this is definitely.
And you've been.
I have been. I went 2024. Yeah, I was there last
Okay.
year.
Wow. That's badass. I found that out when we were in LA. That's
Oh
where
yeah,
was the
I
first,
told you about
yeah,
that.
That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah. I went to Coachella. I did the car camping option. Now here's the thing: when I did the car camping option, I assumed people were going to be camping in their car. We were the only car in the lot without like a tent.
Yeah.
We were the only ones actually sleeping in the car.
Really?
I felt like an idiot.
Oh wow.
I don't know. I've never been to one, so I don't know.
Well, so what's wrong with sleeping in your car?
There's nothing wrong with it, but it's just like I felt like you could tell I was a rookie.
Right,
Like,
right.
I was like, oh,
Yeah,
this guy
yeah,
has
that's what
never
it
done
is.
this before.
Yeah.
Like no fire, no food, no sitting around outside
None of
your
that.
car.
We had like snacks in the car.
Just
It was
hunched
all
over,
self-contained in the car.
Hunched
We had-
over eating trail mix.
It's actually kind of adorable.
Yeah.
Right? It's
kinda.
like, yeah, you're like, you didn't bring anything to like hang out. Like,
I would have
it was like tailgating.
because I don't know
It
shit.
is.
Yeah.
It was like a big tailgate. But
Right.
that is the cool thing about Coachella. There is a very friendly environment to it. So the people
Nice.
that are right beside us that had been doing this for years, they like had us over no problem. Like we
Right
were hanging
on.
out, like shared all the food and drinks that they had. Like it was,
Oh, it's
it was
incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did y'all bring drinks? Like like
I think we probably got like
Booze?
a couple packs of White Claw or something. Whatever player drinks. Like,
that sounds
Ain't no
very
law.
Coachella to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is Coachella like it's a big drinking like drugs drinking? Doing
Oh,
all
It
that
is.
shit?
yeah. It's like
Yeah.
that's like mainly what it's known
That's what I
for.
thought.
yeah, it's
right.
a big party. Like,
Yeah.
it was a big
And you brought
tour.
White Claws.
Look, I'm not much of a drinker.
know
So
you're
whatever
not.
we brought had to be for her.
I know you're not. That's really funny.
I'm feeling left out right now. I need to go to a music festival.
You should, man.
Yeah.
You know what? I think you would like Bonnaroo
Why specifically Bonnaroo?
because it's not. I feel like if you've never been to a music festival at all and you start at Coachella, that might be a lot.
It's gonna be too overwhelming.
I think it might be overwhelming.
Would you say Bonnaroo's like the blue collar Coachella?
No,
Okay,
I
I've
can't
never
s-
been to either, so I don't.
I can't say it because here's the thing.
I think
I
I
would
do
say-
think I'd want to go to one that wouldn't make me just feel completely alienated.
You're right. And I guess
Because
my
I'm a fucking dweeb. I've done some drugs, but
Yeah.
like I'm not like, you know,
well. That's
I'm not
the
like
thing.
in the scene.
Oh,
I've never done a cuddle puddle.
dude.
I don't know what that is, but I'm on board.
Truth be
That
told,
sounds
if-
amazing.
Do you want to know what it?
I would
sorry.
love to know what
Oh,
it
go
is.
ahead. Cool,
But-
go ahead.
A cuddle
Explain.
puddle is I've never done Molly, but it's like when a bunch of people do Molly. One of the things apparently of Molly is that everything like feels
Yeah,
amazing.
it's ecstasy. So you,
right,
yeah.
right. So like if a bunch of people do it, sometimes they'll just like all cuddle. Like
Yeah.
20 people all will be cuddling with each other and call it a cuddle puddle.
Sounds like a blue orgy to me.
Yeah.
yeah. It's probably also a puddle because they're all like sweaty too.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, no, it sounds disgusting, but
Yeah.
but also I feel like I'd probably do it.
Once upon a time, probably. I don't know if I'd do it now. Maybe.
But also you're not on Molly right now. So
You don't know that.
That's true.
I feel like for you would probably want to go to a festival where like maybe it's one day or it's something where you don't camp out. Because I feel like if it's one where people are camping out, it's going to come with like all of the.
Well, then maybe I
extracurriculars.
would just want to go for it then. Because like if I'm going I'm going to a music festival, I want to do drugs. Period.
Oh well, then yeah, go to Bonnaroo.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say go by. I would say
the camping part doesn't sound great. I'm not a big camper.
I'm not a huge camper either,
Yeah.
but I think I could get into it if it was tens or hundreds of however fucking many people go to these
it's
things.
a bunch of people camping.
I think if everyone's doing it, I could like feel comfortable. It wouldn't feel like I'm out in the woods camping.
So we where I grew up, we did a lot of like camping. That just meant a place to drink safely.
Yeah.
Essentially, is what
I
it
did.
was.
Yeah,
it was
same
just
in
who
Avery
could carry
County.
a bunch
Yeah.
of shit out in the woods, make a fire, have a good time, be an idiot. But you were safe. You were confined. No driving. That kind of shit.
Did people ride 4-wheelers and shit
No.
in these things?
No.
There was this place called the Knob. And
that's why you went?
What's
Because you're a knob.
okay? And like it was people. I don't know of anyone dying there, but they surely have. Because I went one time. I went out there and everybody has just a shit ton of Bud Light. Everyone's riding 4-wheelers. There's a massive fire, like massive,
sure.
and people like jumping on their 4-wheeler. Like it's just like, hi, I'm here. I want to die. Like it's
we certainly did some. We didn't have.
It was
kind of
awesome,
but
though,
it was
to be honest.
It was always
I
just a train wreck.
Yeah, it was a night. But I do remember just being like, this is remarkable.
I have 2 questions for you.
All right.
One is relevant, and the other one was relevant like 20 minutes ago.
Great.
All right. First one. Have you ever been mudding?
Like mudding in the sense of
And
just,
like you get in a beat up
Oh,
car
yeah.
and drive through a bunch of mud puddles in the woods.
yeah, probably at some
Yeah.
point when I lived in Avery.
I've done it once. Have you ever done it?
I've never
And that is what it was called. Now that I'm thinking
It's a
of
good
it,
time. Yeah.
I mean, I've certainly driven my cars through the mud.
Nah,
I know.
it's-
I'll
Out
say
in the
this: I
woods.
know that people that was a thing that people did
Yeah.
a lot. I can't remember whether I ever went with anybody, but I think probably.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Interesting.
We'll
I'll
see.
probably do
What's
more
the irrelevant question?
Did you ever consider joining Antifa?
Antifa's not a thing.
What
It's
do you
not
mean
an
it's not a thing?
organization.
It's not?
No. That's a
What is it?
misconception. It's just like it's like
They don't know what to call
it's like
a group.
BLM.
Yeah.
Black Lives Matter is not like a thing. I mean, I guess. Black Lives Matter-
okay. No, I see what you're saying.
it's like a concept.
Okay.
And I would not identify as Antifa, no. But I am the word that it comes from, anti-fascist. Sure, we all are. I think.
Yeah,
right?
of course. Of course. But I get it. Yeah, it's not.
Antifa's associated with like vandalism and bombing.
Yeah, it's a
shit and,
they needed a finger to point at, and
Right.
they picked picked Antifa terminology.
Yeah.
Again, ironically, probably not even knowing that it was
Yeah,
anti-fascist.
honestly.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Antifa is. You're right. Antifa is basically just the concept of Antifa is essentially right-wing propaganda.
Right-wing propaganda of anyone who is protesting anything. They're
Yeah.
going to break
Oh.
windows. They're going to
Yeah.
they're doing all this shit. It's Antifa. Suddenly
Yeah.
anyone who's like they would have their people doing fucked up shit. They
would-
would be like, "Oh, those are Antifa."
They did talk about it like it was an organization,
Exactly.
That's
like or
what I thought
whatever.
it was a-
yeah. It's
'cause my-
It's not.
Okay. Because my little sister used to call them the White Panthers.
I mean, it's not terrible, but unlike the Black Panthers,
Okay.
which were an actual thing.
Got it. Okay. All right. I learned
Interesting.
something today.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
I think
For the
I think
first
they're-
time in the wild, you have taught somebody something about it.
yeah, probably true.
I have been to some festivals. I've
Yes.
been to one of the best festivals I was at. It was actually the Horde tour.
The Horde. Tour.
Horde. So
Okay.
it was like right around Lollapalooza. So Lollapalooza came through. I'm gonna say it was the next year. All of a sudden, like all these other festivals started popping up, but the Horde tour was actually a really good one. And I remember this one in particular. We were in Hershey, Pennsylvania, which is where we would go see a lot of concerts.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like Lenny Kravitz. It was Neil Young was on it. Like Blues Traveler. I'm really dating myself with a lot of these names, but a whole bunch of other bands or whatever. And I remember it was like over 100 degrees. It was just it was scorching hot out, and and I'd never gotten front row of a show ever before, and because just my size, I'm either in the back or what. I just had to figure it out, and I was just by myself. And this is I had on camouflage shorts.
Of course, you
All
do.
right.
I have a weird.
Lil Rambo.
Lil Rambo, exactly, because I had the jacket. And for whatever reason, this day I have pictures. I could probably show you guys. My friend sent some recently about this particular festival we went to, And I was like, I'm getting to the front of the line. It was so hot. I'm not sure I had shoes on. I think I had. I had
that you
sandals
don't know.
on.
That's awesome.
You know, I had all hemp necklaces.
Were you like real
my
drunk?
gosh.
Like,
Of course, drunk.
Yeah, I mean,
high,
I don't-
doing
yeah.
we were doing a whole bunch of shit.
Yeah.
And I just remembered going and just being like, I'm getting to the front row, and I would be like, excuse me, I'm just trying to get to the front, and no one gave a shit. They were
Yeah.
like, oh, short guy, fucking great. I got literally front row, dead center. Watched the whole thing. It was so hot, people were like passing out and shit.
Yeah.
So they just started
Yeah.
bringing hoses around and would just hose us down.
Oh,
it was
okay.
filthy. It was one of the most fun times I've ever had in my life. They had a lot of
Nice,
hippie crack there. And it was like Lenny Kravitz in the middle of a taxi driver.
You can't just fast forward through. You said hippie crack?
You know, you never heard of hippie crack?
No.
Nitrous?
No, I'm glad you stopped
Nitrous
because I don't know
balloons?
what that is either.
You guys never you huff nitrous balloons?
Oh,
Oh,
like-
that's the stuff Kanye's been doing.
Okay.
I'm not even joking. That's the stuff Kanye.
I don't know if I've
ever.
ever done it, but yeah. Okay, that's
It's
I
both-
got you now. I've
it's-
never heard it called hippie crack
Yeah.
though. That's new to me.
It is both one of the most
It's
dangerous
whippets?
things to do.
Same thing?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, yeah.
It's incredibly dangerous. Don't do it, kids. But it was
Yeah, hippie crack
It was
is new.
so much
It's
fun.
new. I didn't know that either. It is pretty funny.
yeah. It was very, very dangerous. You really shouldn't do it. But
Is it super dangerous?
Yes.
Oh my
no,
God,
it really
I didn't know
kills your
that.
brain cells.
I mean, I knew it wasn't good, but
yeah,
like,
it's kind of like that. You know, there's a lot of random like you do it and then you kids die. Like it's pretty
Really?
terrible. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
shit.
It's one of those things I look back. I'm like, ooh, that's probably
because
should've
it's
done
sort of
that
it's
one.
sort of culturally sort of like pitched as like silly.
It's almost
kids.
silly. Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
silly. Yeah,
Like
it's
silly
not-
kids doing something that's mildly dangerous. Like no, it's
Yeah.
like dangerous.
But I remember.
Yeah.
Okay, good to know.
So
I
this
didn't
was
know
when
that.
Lenny Kravitz was like he had his hair was crazy.
Yeah.
Mr. Cab. I said Taxi Driver. Mr. Cab Driver. It was that album. It was amazing. That guy in concert is absolutely amazing. It's not the one where his dick came
I was about to say,
flying
you ever see that
out.
video when his dick
Oh
comes
my-
out?
It knocks over like
That dude is a
mic
huge dick.
stands.
I actually
it knocked
haven't
over
seen
the
it.
bass
I
player.
haven't seen
think.
it, but I've heard he's
Insane.
massive,
He
massive
was
dong.
So impressive live. Neil Young came out and just he
Do you know about
slammed
that,
a
Jordan?
Budweiser.
I've heard.
Yeah. Just about the fact that his pants split open and it was just there. That's just funny.
Did you? There's a picture recently came out. 60 years old. The guy. As he walked out, he looks better than all of us. Like it's insane. That
Yeah,
guy.
the secret is money.
Is it?
I think so.
I like that he's really short. I
I mean, that
appreciate
doesn't-
that about him.
Hurt for sure.
I think money because lack of stress and
Okay.
and also
Those
just
don't always correlate, but okay.
they
I don't know if
can.
you've heard this, but more money, more problems.
Shut
I
up.
was about to say it.
Shut up.
I was about to say it.
Why? What? He was gonna say it. You were
well,
gonna tell him
shut
to
up.
shut up.
Yes.
Come on.
Well, because okay, sure, kind of, but I think overall,
Totally true.
wealthy people tend to be less stressed
It's
than
a
not
different
wealthy
kind of
people.
stress.
Fuck off. Sure.
No, I think
everybody.
you're right. I'm not gonna fight
Yeah,
on that.
and also access to all of the best skincare, all of the best health, all of
you know
the
what's
best,
a great
nutrition, all of that.
point
That
to
makes
prove
you-
that is
yeah.
Steve Carell's hair.
Steve Carell.
Do you guys remember when Steve Carell in the first? And this isn't even I'm not even ripping on him. I'm just saying like this is the reality. When he was his first season on The Office, you could tell that he was really thinning out on top, and he whatever the thing he got was he's got a full head of hair now.
Yeah.
Oh, you probably got the hair
money
plugs.
makes you look good if you want.
Yeah. Here's the other thing too about Steve
You can
Carell.
also do what Trump does and just be disgusting nightmare with a lot of money.
So Steve Carell also got a hip replacement.
Nice.
Did not know that.
Yeah, he got a real expensive one. He got the it's porcelain.
Is he a robot?
Porcelain.
Yes, I didn't even know about. That's how
That's
different
fancy.
our lives are.
What if it's ivory?
That's funny.
he got the white rhino
Yeah,
fucking
exactly.
hip replacement. I thought it was pretty cool.
That
for him.
is really cool.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah. But no, so to go to your earlier point, because you made me think of it, yeah, kids were doing this thing called Galaxy Gas.
What's that?
It's Whippets.
Oh, okay.
It's like flavored, it's pitched as
Wait,
a
is it
flavored
for sale?
whipped cream charger. Yes.
Oh,
This
yeah,
is a
dude.
It's
thing.
legal?
Guys, we could do whippets right now if
Yes.
you guys want. We can go to Food Lion.
Yeah, no,
right
for
here.
real.
Now I'm real scared.
You should be.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that.
And look, and this proves my point. It is an Atlanta-based brand. Atlanta is going
Atlanta
to be the
is wild,
downfall
man.
of all of us.
Atlanta's wild.
So you guys know whipped cream.
I love
Yeah.
Atlanta though.
So We could go do it whipped cream right now.
Yeah.
I don't want to tell them because the kids are we got a lot of young people listening to our podcast.
Huge fan base of kids listening to the show.
Yeah, you can go catch a buzz right now. Like
how do you do? I always knew that you could the easy cheese whipped cream, whatever. How do you what do you do?
All it is you can
where do you put your mouth?
So you know the little tube at the top.
Yeah.
You just the first probably 5, 6, 7 seconds of that coming out is all nitrous. You do that and just hold your breath.
So you can only do it once per can.
Pretty much, yeah.
And unless it's all the way empty, maybe. No, but then it's just
I don't
air.
think it happens
then
at
it's
the
just
end.
regular air.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we had so you get the little.
How does it
chargers.
last? It lasts like 1 minute.
Just
very.
It depends.
brief.
Yeah. So at first,
we should do it.
Basically, if you've ever you could hold
totally
your breath and kind of do it. It is so much fun. It's really.
I'll just do it. I'll do it and I'll let you guys know.
Yeah, we'll talk about it off because
we're hyped up on whippets and we're gonna listen to Bernie Sanders talk. Yeah, that was the perfect place to come find us.
So the thing with whippets,
I was super on whippets earlier, guys. I don't know if you knew.
I could tell. So you could do them, and the problem is you do them enough, like you pass out. We used to call it fishing out.
So we did the thing where you press and then they pass. Okay.
But you would pass out and you would have these. This is terrible, actually.
Yeah.
I don't know how much we should be talking about.
No one's. Come on. This is.
But you would you would pass out, and sometimes you would just pass out and wake up or whatever.
Yeah.
A little while, like 10 seconds later,
right.
5 seconds later. But there were sometimes you would pass out and you would be semi-conscious, but you would have an adventure. Like weird, like you would have a whole thing, and then you would come back and you'd be like, "Oh my god." Whoa, they'd be like, "Oh my god, I went outside and then I got in a guy's car."
But it was only like 10 seconds.
And it was like 10 seconds long.
No.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking trippy, man. It's not. It's real
Let's do
bad,
whippets, guys.
Not doing whippets.
And you would, because your whole body gets real.
Jordan just said we're not doing whippets.
Anyway, I've already said. Too
I gotta
much.
put my foot down at some point.
The fact that the way you said it was awesome. It was just like we're not doing it.
I have never done any of the drugs.
Jonathan, we're not doing it. I will turn this car around. I will turn this car around energy.
It really
We're
did.
not doing whippets.
Oh man,
It's very different than a comedy festival. I will tell you that.
it is
Very different.
It is
True.
very different, and that's something we can speak of because we've all have been in comedy festivals, and that's the thing that I think we can relate when it comes to like some of these artists, right? Because there's a lot of, for lack of a better word, ego that goes into these festivals. Like you get upset if you're not performing at a certain festival that you see other people are in. Even I'll admit this, I'll make it into a festival, but then I'll see my name and be like, well, why isn't my name bigger like some of the other people? Why, you know what I mean? Stuff like that.
I got to start doing more. I got out of doing.
I've done exactly 2, and they're both. One is Charlotte. One's in North Carolina.
Yeah.
I've never.
I think there's a lot of value in doing festivals. I think I actually undervalued them for quite a while. I think they're kind of amazing. They're not a party like we're talking about. You know what I mean? They're a lot of fun.
They can be very fun. And I do remember the first like Queen City comedy experience that I think we did. That felt party-esque. Like the after party shows when we would like go up the street to whatever bar. That was a good time to me.
I'm all for that. The after whatever the show hang is I think that's great. I think that's a big part of any of this stuff because I think I've met some of the comics like Drew Dunn just came through Duckworth's. I think it was last week or whatever, and he's someone I met at one of the first festivals that I had ever done, and he's we were around the same. But the guy's he's kind of a big deal. He's at the Comedy Cellar all the time. He's like touring the country. Guy's amazing, and it's like. I reached out to him, you know what I mean? It was like, I'm glad you're like coming to town. Like, let me know if you need anybody. But he had a full, group or whatever.
Got it.
So to me, there's a lot of this idea of like book comics.
Yeah, 100%.
There's my nephew sent me a Drew Dunn clip. And I was like, oh my God, hey, it's really funny to have him send a clip like that. And be like, oh, I know that guy. That's really cool.
I didn't tell you guys, and I don't think I told Paul either. I meant to. But my friend who does not know Paul Platt at all sent me a Paul Platt clip.
I can't believe you're talking about Paul Platt without having bashed him.
Well, fuck that guy. But like, no, but isn't that cool though? Like,
yeah,
it is cool.
It is very cool. Paul's doing great things.
Very interesting. Paul gets a few YouTube subscribers now. Jonathan's a fan.
Oh yeah, well you're right.
Yeah, look at that.
Look at
Again, what are we doing? Like, obviously.
Oh, my God.
No, I've always loved, hated Paul.
Yeah.
that mustache.
No, fuck that guy. No, fuck him. He's the worst.
Him and giraffes.
We got to stick to our stuff.
I
Fuck
did
him,
my
fuck
best
giraffes,
experience on
Fuck
on a-
spelunking.
Spelunking.
That is one of them.
Yeah.
I did the Burbank Comedy Festival years ago. I've talked about this at length with at least some people. It was fantastic. It was like an amazing festival. And to me, it's always about it's about who's going, right? And I don't think that it's up there. I don't think it is nationally known as one of the best. At least it I think was. I'm surprised. It makes me wonder about what other festivals, like what they're doing, like Big Pine and shit like that I really want to do. But there were some really great comics there, and the idea of there being a lot of industry at these places is like you want to bring your A game and not fuck around. And here's something they did that I don't know if they do it or other festivals do it, which was my favorite thing because it benefited me. So you had 3 shows. No matter who you are, you got 3 shows, right? They had a side room that was like a 75-seater. It was sponsored by Yoo-Hoo. It was called the Yoo-Hoo Room.
Nice.
They had the main stage, which was, I think they're like
Where they
$250.
do watered down shows.
No, they did chocolate milk.
The Aquafina
shows.
Room?
Yeah. And then you had like a satellite, which was going to be somewhere else.
Sure. Okay.
So my experience was Yoo-Hoo Room. I brought the best material I had. I did a probably better than average show. Satellite show was at like 4 p.m. It was hot, sunny, and we were on a porch.
Oh, nah.
So I did that when I was like,
Wolf City.
but I told myself, I was like, it doesn't matter where you're at. You gotta like just bust your ass to make it a good show, right? And I did that, and I was like, and there wasn't a lot of people there, or whatever. But I did I didn't do the same set, but I did the best I could possibly do. And then I did the main stage one. I tell the story where there was this whole thing happen, and I ended up doing very, very well in that show. And what we learned, all of us in the festival learned that night, it was like 12 o'clock at night or something like that, was they had secret people who were judging all the shows. And you got rated on every one of your shows. And if you did well enough, each one, there was like a point system. You got to be in the best of the fest. And the best of the fest was like, they had 2 shows. There was a Yoo-Hoo Room show and there was a main room show. So I think it was like 20 people. I think there was like 400 or 500 comics on the show.
Wow.
Like it was amazing. And I got to do the best of the fest at the main room. Like it was
amazing.
fucking fantastic because you never know who's watching you.
Right.
Now that's what the message for me was like, oh shit, every show. You gotta show up.
Doesn't matter if it's
Yeah.
4 p.m., 100 million degrees on a porch.
That's right.
That's good to hear because I think,
It's hard to do. I think that's hard. I mean, at a festival, it's what I mean when I say it's hard to do. At a festival, it's like, all right, 3 shows, just bring it. I'm in California, man. I'm in Burbank. It's like, what else am I doing? It's just this. Now, if you're here in town, that's a harder thing to bring your A game at a brewery on a Wednesday. You know what I mean?
in front of 6 people.
It shouldn't be harder, but it is. So I don't know.
You're right. I mean, it shouldn't be hard, but at the same time, you do have to make room to work on new material.
I totally
Right.
agree. Yeah.
So that's the problem.
And,
It's like
and you have to lower the stakes for yourself sometimes. Oh, I'll speak for myself. I have to lower the stakes for myself sometimes.
Yeah. So I definitely agree with the putting your best foot forward mentality. There's got to be a safe space for us to try stuff. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I do feel like I think you feel more comfortable doing that at home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's right.
Although, yeah, you're right. They could always be out there.
Well, I talk about the show where I was at the Galway Hooker, which was, it's not someone I know, it was the name of a bar up in that was for me up in Mooresville. And the Comedy Zone had the second floor, and they had big shows there. I say big shows, but and I don't remember who I was opening for. Long story short, this was between Thanksgiving and it was between Christmas and New Year's. It was like that week or whatever. And just some guy happened to be in town with family. He was an LA guy. He was an associate producer. Ended up having, the next 6 months talking about being a host of a show on the Food Network. He happened to be at the show, and he set up. I talked with these people. We had Skype interviews, and I was up for a role as
Nice.
one of the hosts of the
Wow.
show. Yeah. So you'd never know
It's true.
Never know,
True.
man.
who's at a show. no, I didn't obviously take advantage of that shit because here I am sitting in my living room doing a podcast. So anyway.
But I think it's also important to bring up because, especially around this time of the year, people are applying for festivals and competitions and all these things, right? And you don't always get in, or you don't always advance to the next stage. Here's the thing. Don't go on the Facebook rant if you want to make it to the next step.
We
Okay,
could say go ahead and don't go on a Facebook rant about anything ever.
Yes, that's true. That's true. But I just want to bring that up. All right, there's no gatekeeper trying to stop you. All right,
it's not personal.
It's not a click that stops you.
It might be personal.
If it's personal, it's only because you're a jerk. All right, and you're probably not funny too. Still,
yeah.
But you're too much of a jerk to realize you're not funny. That's probably what it is. But no, honestly, I bring this up to say don't be a sore loser, and don't even look at yourself as a loser. All right, I mean this is all a learning process, and there's a lot of value to get from these things, even if you don't make it to the next level. There can only be one winner. You're still getting to connect with all these people, even if you perform well. I think I've talked about this all the time. That I've gotten opportunities at Good Nights from doing the competition there. I didn't win.
Yeah, right.
But I still,
I'm right there with you.
Got plenty of bookings there. It's not about winning. That's
be a professional all the time.
Yes,
this is work. When you post things online as a comic, when you do podcasts, when you do this shit, this is work. We're working right now. I know it doesn't seem like it for a lot of people. It's random. They may just throw this on or whatever. We're working right now.
Yeah. And
as much as we're kind of dicking around, we're comics, so dicking around is part of work. But I think some of what we're doing, there's strategy to it. We're best foot forward, and I think that goes for Facebook, Instagram. Those are two different things. We may treat them differently. Sometimes I post the same thing, sometimes I don't. It's a different. So I think being strategic about all that shit in a way to advance yourself and how people say, I think it's important. I don't know.
No, it's 100% important because to your earlier point. Especially when you're interacting with people on Facebook, you never know who's watching.
That's right.
All right, I've gotten compliments for how I don't say anything on Facebook.
Yeah,
I
do too.
Yeah,
because I don't like doing that shit. Why I don't like dirty laundry is not great. Sure, a lot of that shit gets clicks, right? A lot of people you want to stir people
I will
up.
read. I'm not above that. I will read to see what's going on.
You guys get this shit more than I do. I don't get as much interaction. I mean, how do you handle that shit, man? How do you?
Have you? Oh, yeah, you on Instagram?
What, just hate?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know who's watching that other than just the world, even if it's a small portion of it. You still gotta. It's sort of like heckling someone. I don't want to heckle someone's heckling me. I don't want to go rat and be like, fuck your mother, you piece of shit. But I don't know.
I got sort of not put in my place exactly, but kind of hey, what are you doing, man? Stop doing this. When I, for a while, and it was very fun. I miss doing it, but I would post screenshots of my responses to comments when I thought they were particularly scathing and funny, and some of them went kind of viral-ish.
Yeah, I kind of remember this.
Yeah, I was doing this for a while, and then you probably wouldn't want me mentioning. Whatever, I'm not going to mention his name, but someone I know who I trust.
That's also a comedian.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Sent me a DM and was like, dude, you got to stop doing that. Because you're going to cost yourself X, Y, and Z opportunities. He said a thing that he used to do that got him in trouble, gigs he's lost, stuff like that. So yeah, I still go. I think
that's by the way, that's a good friend. That's a good.
Yeah. I really like this
colleague,
dude. This dude is great.
Yeah.
I don't know why I really hesitate to mention his name, but I just do.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, so the way I deal with that is I just do the comments, but I don't post them anymore. Because I don't think,
get it.
I feel like fewer people are probably let's scrolling through the comments to see my behavior. Although maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I as much as possible, I try and ignore it. But sometimes I just feeling petty.
The idea of there's no bad press. I think is mostly true. That's the kind of thing where someone has had an experience that was like, hey, this drew away from kind of what I was doing.
Yeah.
Because I think you guys seem to handle this very well. You talk about getting hate on there all the time, which is
constant.
Yeah, which is wild.
It's every day.
But I think like another thing that has like helped me to not respond is that
when you can not respond, that's usually best.
Yeah, I've gotten to the point where I don't really respond at all anymore because I kind of think of it as two ways. One, anybody that's taking the time to write like a negative comment on like Facebook or Instagram, to me, like you've already lost. If you took the time to like write something negative, it's like something's probably off with your life. Maybe.
Yeah, sure.
So that's one, and then two is we do stand up, so we know how comedy works. Like usually when you're doing jokes for the first time, it's not really fully fleshed out. It's not always going to land. Whereas when you're making content on social media, like we're not like running that at an open mic first.
Hell no.
No, yeah.
We have no idea if this is really going to go well or not. And so you understand that like, yes, some stuff just isn't going to hit.
Yeah.
And so the person that's viewing that, they don't really think of that. They don't realize how hard it is to be funny. They just think like, this is corny, this is lame. It's like, well, that's I'm able to not put too much stock in their opinion because we understand how that works. And it's like, that's not reflective of my like comedic ability as a whole just because you didn't like this 160-second clip or parts of the 160-second clip.
You're so much less petty than I am. I love to just get in there and fucking, but as much as possible, I try and avoid it.
Which has value too, though. I mean, to me, that's a little bit like, that's your personality coming out.
Yeah. And I think
which is also still ironic, by the way.
Why?
But just because you're walking around as a person, you're not especially
aggressive.
You're not aggressive.
Yeah.
You're the opposite of aggressive.
Yeah, I'm pretty chill mostly.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just channel it, I guess.
Yeah.
The rage goes into.
It does go into certain things.
Yeah, it's kind of.
Cool. I'm glad that. I don't always know that, like that's how people. I'm glad that I don't present as this rage-fueled monster in daily life. I don't want to be that.
Yeah.
But it's good. I don't know.
We've all got a little rage in us, right?
Yeah. I'm sure like if you've been up for like 50 hours of the day, you probably start to get like a little like a little cranky.
Yeah. I mean, I've gotten cranky on this podcast twice already. And had a blast doing it.
Yeah. We've all got I got rage. Shit. We got it. That's all right. How you channel it, how you use it, how you control it, I think that's important.
Yeah, and how you also like relieve stress. Like like something I like to do to like decompress is to play a game. Right? Do we got any games?
We do have some games. Shall we play one?
Yes.
All right, I'm pulling it up right now. All right, let's do a Would You Rather. Don't look at it yet, guys. Don't look at it. Should we talk about the tech? How amazing I am at tech?
Yeah. So Jason's
basically a coder at this point.
I'm writing code.
You're an engineer for Google. You're actually the guy who changed it to Gulf of America on the app.
That was unintentional.
Jason is the guy who's come up with all the Marvel propaganda.
That's right. That's right. Guy, I read up on that, by the way. We never revisited it.
Okay, Jonathan. Are you about to go on another
No. Let's not do it right now. But like, there's some shit, dude.
Do you know that China now is like because of the tariffs, they're not bringing half the movies over there right now?
I did.
I also learned that it was what was it specifically? It was to Transformers. Was like that China loved Transformers. It was like made for them because there was no like the villains weren't like whatever.
Right.
But anyway, I still am gonna handle my stance on that.
Well, no, I'm just saying I actually did research.
Yeah,
and I found a lot of stuff that not all of it in my court, but like a lot.
Sure.
I don't want. Let's not get into it right now. But yeah.
All right, so we're gonna do a Would You Rather. We love Would You Rathers around here. And this one was it's a Reddit. I love Reddit. They always have good ones.
Shout out to Reddit.
I like this out of context. Thank God you put the edit. I was about to click on it. Like, what the fuck was going on in that thread? It was such an imminent threat. I want no context.
Yeah.
I like it that way.
Perfect.
All right, go ahead.
Would you rather be able to walk up to any vehicle and drive it without anyone stopping you? You have the ability to drive whatever you take, but still take whatever risk for accidents. Okay. All right. So would you rather be able to walk up to any vehicle and drive it without anyone stopping you,
GTA
or
style.
regularly have your vehicle jacked by people in exchange for twice the value of whatever you were driving?
This question is awesome.
So I'm going to read it again. It is awesome. Would you rather be able to walk up to any vehicle and drive it without anyone stopping you, or regularly have your vehicle jacked by people in exchange for twice the value of whatever you were driving?
The edit was
non-car vehicles.
Hey, oh my God. I had
playing submarines, rockets in mind when it came up there. No one would stop you.
It is kind of great.
I fucking love this question.
Okay.
Oh man. Okay. So not
Real
constantly, but randomly, regularly have your vehicle jacked is funny.
Yeah.
By people in exchange for someone's stealing your car,
And you immediately get twice the value.
I love it. This is so stupid.
Okay, see now.
I kind of know where I'm at with
Per
it.
usual, I have questions,
Good.
and thoughts here.
Do
Let's
it.
go.
Actually, no, you're the one.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know why you said, but
Okay, here's the thing.
You both do have questions. It's all right.
Okay, no
now
one,
I have questions.
no one will stop me, but that doesn't say there aren't going to be consequences once I get out the car.
My read on this is that it is implied that there is no trouble you can get in other than maybe getting, the regular risks of driving a car. I think that's fairly implied.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like you're not going to get arrested. You're not going to get like.
But can you park it in your driveway
What do you mean?
and now it's yours?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, I think so.
All right. So let's just say that's it. It's now yours. Okay. Whatever you take is yours.
Okay.
So kind of every vehicle is yours.
Every single
and you
vehicle
have the ability, so you can fly a plane.
Yeah.
You automatically can fly a plane.
There you go.
That's fucking cool. That's a major perk. Because I was leaning towards the second one, even though that would be really inconvenient. But now I know how to fly. I know how to drive a submarine. I know how to launch a rocket with a bunch of.
Let's not. You could drive it. I don't know if you could shoot the rockets.
What do you mean? Well, launch No, you can. No, it's because it says
So
you have the ability to drive whatever you take.
Yeah.
To me, that means you can do a rocket launch.
Oh yes, you could do a blue orgy.
Yeah, exactly.
So you could fly.
Yeah, I could fly it up there.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty.
That feels like maybe the answer, right?
Although, but the thing there is that a question I would have actually is whether you can sell these things. I don't think you can.
I don't think you can
because you don't have the title. You don't have the.
Sure.
Okay, so you could pick option one and still be destitute poor. You could be
correct.
You could still be absolutely unhoused with this thing. Number two, you're like after a while you're sitting pretty.
But I gotta be honest,
minute.
who's stealing cars though? You can't plan that.
Well, it says regularly. It's built in.
Oh, I see.
It's
Not
built
constantly,
in
but
regularly.
random. Well,
and
it says regularly.
not constantly. I'm going to say regularly to me implies that it happens, once a fucking month, probably roughly.
Let's call it once a month.
So if that happens and I'm getting double whatever I'm getting, I'm driving my fucking Kia Rio. It means I'm double. I'm getting like $3,000.
Well, so
no, I'm just kidding. No, so double. I'm getting probably where it's at right now. I'm probably getting like 25 grand.
Well, no, because here's the thing. That was going to be my second question. It says twice the value.
Right.
So what if they're taking your Kia and now you got like a Nissan Altima that's yours now?
Well, yeah, but you still, whatever it is, you get double. And
But it's not like a cash value. It's like you still have a vehicle. It's just now you got.
Whoa, no. I don't think that's what it said. Go back up.
It says value. That could be
Go back up.
interpreted.
Go back up. In exchange for twice the value of what? Yeah, but again, to me the implication is pretty clearly saying you get the money. I think. I mean, twice the value. You would interpret that as you get a car that's worth twice as much. No, but what do you think they're actually saying? What do you think the intent there is? My question, I would contend that
you always got to buy a new car every time.
Pretty clearly, they're saying. I think that they're saying you get the money.
I think you get the money.
What else could that be? Twice the value, like.
Yeah, one vehicle could be twice the value of another vehicle.
I mean, but you're talking about like a monkey's paw situation where it's like the ironic consequences of like, I don't think this is supposed to be a trick.
Yeah, I don't think it's supposed to be a trick either. I think it's like,
y'all sure. But I do want to push back on an earlier point that you mentioned about you could take a car and still be unhoused. You could take an RV.
Fair enough.
And then you could take it to Coachella.
You could, yeah. There you go.
You could, but you're never gonna actually own these things. Is the thing. Like you're never gonna. In the first option, to me, there's an implication that you don't own this thing. You keep it. You can have it.
You can own a car and still, right?
Well, I mean, sure, you can own a car separately, but number two, for the appeal of number two is that it makes you money.
Yes.
Well, you will continue to build wealth from that. Number one, you're not actually you have availability of things,
yes.
but it doesn't mean you have money or actual security other than you pick a nice one you want to live in. And you can do that, but you still have to buy food and shit. You still have to have a job. You know what I mean? Like,
I think you could find some shady people that would just buy a car. No question.
I'd take a submarine.
Like if I pulled up to somebody in the Ferrari,
okay, you could fence it.
Yeah.
You could fence it. Okay, that's true. I mean, then you are stealing there, but then there's probably no one will stop you. I wonder if that is a good question, is whether they'll stop you if you fence it.
All right, so let's have it like we snap our fingers right now. What do you do?
Right now, I'm going number 2.
No. What car? If we're taking version 1, are you going anywhere in town? You're like, oh my god, I'm gonna go. My neighbor has a great.
Oh, it's
car.
just like this has happened. Yeah. What's your first thing? What's your first fun thing you're gonna go do?
Car.
Oh,
if I have the ability to drive anything, we're not starting with a regular car. No,
but you're literally right here in this moment. So where do you go?
Oh, gosh. Yeah. Oh no.
And you have all the time in the world.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna take Jordan's car. Just
no,
to fuck
I was about to say. No, he's laughing. I'm taking your car.
You're taking my car.
I gotta test out to make sure this works for real. Yeah, you're the closest one.
Damn it! And I can't
you
stop you.
Test out to make it work. You also go such weird places with these things.
You can't drive stick shift.
No, I can. No, he can. He can.
God damn it.
He can even drive a stick shift rocket.
Jesus, that's right. I forgot.
One of rockets were.
Now I'm upset. But I'll just take your car.
I would.
Well, but he's got it.
I would just wander around.
You got to take Jonathan's car. Yeah.
I would wander around till I found. All right, this is like a nice. There's some nice cars in this neighborhood.
Yeah.
Not yours, of course, but
right over there. Yeah, not mine. No.
Like. I don't know. I want to answer this question in a way that's not just I'd find a nice car. Like what would I be realistically looking for in this neighborhood is kind of the question you're asking.
I would get a
right?
car and drive it to the airport. That's what I'm saying. Like I'd go out there, find a car that I like, drive it around, then drive it to the airport and take
a plane.
Take a plane. Fucking fly wherever I wanted to go.
Okay, here's a question. Do you have contact with the tower?
Right.
Like,
got to put the cans on.
Well, no, I mean, like you have the ability to fly it, and like if there's no other planes in the sky, but like, are you going to be able to communicate with air traffic control? Or are you going to slam into another plane when you go?
It happens a lot now. So.
I know that's kind of what I'm saying.
Good question.
And within this, there's no mention of having like help. Yeah. So fair. You're taking a huge risk if you're taking off from the airport.
What if you're just like the most like boring answer to this? Be like, I'd just take my neighbor's BMW.
Or I would do this, but I really like my car, so I'll just stick with my car.
Yeah.
And occasionally I'll borrow a friend's car with permission.
All right.
I am trying to think what car I would. I think it's a fun question. What car would I be realistically, or any of us would we be realistically looking to take? In this neighborhood.
Yeah, in this neighborhood, right.
You know what? Okay. I think I got it. I think I'm going with option number 1. because then I can essentially get any parking spot I want. Because I could just move other people's cars.
Oh my!
That's true. That's true. If you ever play that game Rush Hour, you know what I'm talking about?
No,
it was like this
that.
kid's game. All right, it's not going to make any sense, but
I think that'd be very valuable
so
in Charlotte.
okay, here's a question I have. I'm leaning towards number 2 still. These carjackings, are they violent? Am I getting hurt?
You getting pistol whipped every time
That's what I'm saying.
someone's just like
right.
smacking
Am
you?
am I getting like at least like a black eye or something? Or are they just like, we are taking your car. There's no option. Here's double the value.
I just assume they steal it while you're sleeping or not there.
And just the money appears in your bank account, kind of a thing.
Sure.
So this is like the Tooth Fairy.
Or in your theory, there'd just be a car under your pillow, just a double value car.
Shit.
I'm going number 2. Number 2. I want that money.
Yeah, because really, I mean, you get robbed enough times. You're
That's what, and it says regularly.
Yeah,
which is very inconvenient.
it is,
And you have to always be living in fear. That does kind of suck.
Yeah, but here's the thing: if you are getting robbed regularly and it's replacing double your value, you're going to get to a point where once a month you're getting like a month's salary.
Oh, I know. That's why why I want number 2. That's why I'm leaning towards number 2, because you are building wealth. That's what I'm saying. Number 1, you're not building wealth. Number 2, you're building wealth.
Okay, yeah. All right, I'm changing. I'm going number 2. That's just that's.
But you are going to find yourself in some very inconvenient situations.
Yeah.
With like deep,
on your way to
profoundly inconvenient situations.
That's only going to be a short-term problem. I'm fine with that.
Exactly. Especially if you're getting all this money, because half the time anywhere we're going for anything is so we can get money.
Yeah, I will get the most
God,
premium
that's a sad
Uber
thing
plan.
I just said. That's
Yeah.
true.
No, you're right though.
Pretty terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys
Because
got
anytime we're traveling for pleasure, we're ruining the ozone.
Right. That's right.
You're bringing it all the way back around. Very good. All right, guys. You guys have any shows coming up?
Yes, I am on a show, Leah Lynn's birthday bash.
Oh, we love Leah Lynn here.
Talking about Leah Lynn, she's super
Go ahead, while you're
talented.
looking that up, Leah Lynn is absolutely brilliant. I worked on a show with her last week. She totally stole the show. She is a brilliant joke writer. Her stage presence is crazy good. I see huge things for her in the future.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah.
super talented. And so
Fully agree.
I'm on her show. Her annual birthday bash. I'll be featuring for Burpee. Burpee's on that show
nice.
as well. Shout out to
Yeah,
Burpee.
we love Burpee.
And so that is this Saturday, April 19th, at the Fraternal Order of the Police.
Oh, God.
There you go.
in
Okay.
Charlotte. I understand your reaction. I believe this is a black show. So I think
It sounds like a trap. That's all I'm saying.
that was Mr. Williams comedy.
Mr. Williams comedy.
Leave a
I'll
comment.
own that one.
So yeah, that's what I have coming up this weekend.
Jonathan, where you at, man?
This Saturday, I am in Littleton, North Carolina, at Lake Gaston. I think it's a pizza restaurant.
Oh
It
man,
is.
yeah, I've done that. You've done that, Jordan.
doing that.
I haven't done that one yet.
Yeah.
I'll be
Yes,
there
that's
with
fun.
Jesse Jones.
Very good. That's a good show.
And then next April 28th, I will be in New York City
What?
at the Stand.
Nice.
And then these are far off, but I want to just be constantly
Do
talking
it.
about them.
Do it.
May 23rd, I am headlining Arlington Draft House in Arlington, Virginia, right outside D.C. It is my dream to sell. It's 2 shows, 7 o'clock and 9:30. It is my absolute dream to sell those shows out. That would be everything. So anybody who's listening, look it up. Send it to anyone you possibly know who could remotely be interested. And then in June 19th, Juneteenth, unintentionally, but it is what it is. I'm at good headlining the 861 room at Good Nights. So same thing. It would be incredible to sell that show out. So there we go. That's what I got.
Nice. So when you all hear this is the 17th. I'm doing a next stop show at the Newgrass Brewery. I think you guys have done that.
I've done one.
The one in Shelby?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay. I thought that was the one you guys had done.
I have, yeah.
I'm on a Don't Tell show here in Charlotte on the 18th, which is Friday, and then Saturday we got the Catch graduation show. New crop of students who are doing a show, so I'm excited about that. And also, let's start promoting it now. Coming up May 29th, the Stage Door Theater in Dunwoody, Georgia. July 18th and 19th, again at the Copper Fox Distillery in Sperryville, Virginia. August 29th and 30th at the Copper Fox Distillery in Williamsburg, Virginia.
That's right.
Beautiful.
We're everywhere, guys.
I'm so excited that we're doing
Three's
those shows,
comedy.
man. It's been in the works, and it's happening. We're doing it.
Yeah, we're putting it out there.
It is. Just the idea of like performing in a theater and people are specifically coming to see us.
Yeah.
Yep.
Humbling is right.
Yeah. Yeah, you could have taken that money and flown to space, but you were spending that to come see us.
Oh, we didn't talk about. We don't need to, but the shows last weekend they did were so amazing.
Oh yeah. We gotta talk more about that.
Yeah, don't worry.
Tell just real quick though, Britt, throw it out there. Let's.
All right, I'll just admit I did 2 shows, one in Asheville, one in Knoxville. Asheville show was great. Knoxville show was one of the best experiences I've ever had doing. I've never felt. It was 1,500 people, sold out theater. Tennessee theater, gorgeous.
Yeah, gorgeous,
beautiful
Pictures
theater. One of the more beautiful theaters I've ever seen. And I've never I think I got a little taste of what it feels like to be a star.
Yeah,
because for 15 minutes, 1,500 people, I could do no wrong.
Yeah, that's great.
It was having that level of control over that many. It was just it's not that I've never experienced anything like that, but I have never experienced that.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Sure.
That level. So anyway, that was amazing. I loved those.
And you have more coming up this fall.
I have more. Not till December, but December 4th, I'm doing one of those in Toledo, Ohio. December 5th in Cincinnati.
Toledo and Cincinnati.
Pretty far
crushing
off.
It, dude. You're crushing it.
Pretty far off, but that'll be great.
If we're all still here.
Yeah, it's not a foregone conclusion. You guys want to talk about that?
Oh, gosh. All right.
I am going to have Bernie Sanders opening for me.
I was about to say, no, don't worry. Make sure you tune in next week. Bernie Sanders will be interrupting the show.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, I can't lie. That would be pretty
That
cool.
would be
If
amazing.
we have Bernie Sanders as a guest, we've really stepped it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Claro's not mad about it.
Well, we'll see.
We will.
We'll have her the following week. We'll ask her. All right, everybody. This has been Zoning Out. Thank you so much. Tune in next week. Follow us. Email us. Mr.
Williams Comedy, Jordan Century.
Yes, and
King Jason Allen.
on socials.
Love you, mean it.
See ya.